guys. Welcome back to another exciting episode on the show, Control or Be Controlled, podcast designed to help you start thinking differently and take control of your life. And I remain your host, Darlington. Today's guest is Nick, Nick Mechanic.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Nick knows what it's like to experience both extraordinary success and devastating collapse. As a rising Hollywood talent agent, he was making major movie and television deals, living the life many people dream about. But behind the scenes, he was battling a growing addiction to drugs and alcohol. What began as a substance abuse eventually led to drug dealing, multiple arrests, homelessness, and time behind bars. At his lowest point, his life could have taken a very different path. Instead of a lengthy prison sentence, he was given the opportunity to enter recovery, a decision that ultimately saved his life. Today, he's sober, shares his story openly, and is passionate about helping others understand that recovery isn't just possible, it's worth fighting for. Nick, welcome to the show.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, Darlington. Thanks for having me.
Okay, thank you so much, Nick. So, take us back to your early stages, your early days in Hollywood. What
Yes.
was life? What was life like as a
Oh,
successful
it's
talent
great.
agent?
It's a lot of fun. It's very fast paced. You deal with a lot of very interesting, creative people, and you get to help people make a tremendous living and see people's dreams come true. You know, people would come to me with an idea, and we turn it into a script and turn it into a movie, or an actor would want to be a person would want to be an actor, and they do plays and theater, and then we'd represent them and get them into television and movies, and they'd become stars. And oh, it was great. I loved what I did. I still do it. I still package and sell TV series.
What did success look like for you from the outside as an agent who is a talent like a talent agent?
Um, it's an interesting question. Um, it was great. You know, it started really really well, and my drug addiction took over the course of my career, and I kind of ruined my career for a while. Um, but it was great. It was a great experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
All right. So, beyond that success, you were struggling with addiction. How
Yes.
did drugs how did drugs gradually take control of your life?
Well, I stopped caring. I stopped going to work. I really I stayed up all night. I was up for days on end. I was always chasing the high, chasing the drink, chasing the girls, chasing the dream, chasing the deal, and it affected every area of my life. I lost my clients. I lost my job. I lost my family. I lost my friends. I had cars that were repossessed. I lost all my money. It took control of every area of my life, and it destroyed me mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I was bankrupt. I was miserable.
Wow. Nick, at what point did addiction cross the line into drug dealing? And how did that change everything?
It always did, Darlington. It always crossed the line. I did things that I would never do from a sober state of mind. Um, I hurt people. I hurt myself. I hurt my family. I stole. I cheated. I lied. I did everything that goes against what I am as a human being.
Wonderful, wonderful, Nick. You said those things you did. Can you share them with us? The things you did in drug dealing.
Yeah. So what happened was, I was working for a big company and making a lot of money. And I quit my job because my drug addiction was too powerful. And I stopped getting a paycheck. So I started selling methamphetamine and cocaine to compensate for my lack of income in the entertainment business. And it just grew and grew and grew. And I stopped focusing on anything that had to do with working in the movie and television business. And I got in trouble with the law. The police came to my house 3 times. I got raided. I went to jail. I was facing 15 years in prison. And I got very lucky. I ended up having to go to rehab for a year um, in exchange for not having to go to jail. I got very lucky, Darlington.
Wow, you were
I
very,
did
very
six
lucky.
months in county jail in Los Angeles in 2005, 2006.
Okay, so Nick, you experienced arrest, homelessness, and jail. Was there a particular moment when you realized your life had completely unraveled?
I realized it all the time, and yet I didn't do anything about it. I didn't, as addicts and alcoholics, we don't care about the consequences. All we care about is, the next hit, the next smoke, the next shot, the next fix. We don't care about anything. Look at, guys like Robert Downey Jr., who destroyed his career, but he built it back up. We don't care if our wife leaves us. We don't care if we get fired. We don't care if we lose all our money. All we care about is chasing that high.
Okay, so instead of receiving a lengthy prison sentence, you were given the chance to enter recovery. How did that opportunity change your future?
Well, I got very lucky because I didn't get into trouble with the law till I was 40 years old. Most people who get in trouble with the law get in trouble at a younger age, and they have a whole history of drug charges and violence and robberies and breaking and entering, burglaries, um, driving under the influence. Even though I got very lucky. I got two driving under the influence arrests, and I wasn't convicted on either one. And that was just a testament to my God, my higher power, looking out for me. But it was really ugly, Darlington. It was really bad.
Okay, Nick, so how bad was it?
It was bad. It was to the point where I was, I didn't sleep. I was up for days. I was peeing on myself. I was living in my car. I wasn't eating. I wasn't sleeping. People were trying to rob me, and I was thinking about robbing other people. I had lost my spirituality. I had lost my ability to help others. I had hit rock bottom so many times, and yet I couldn't stop doing it. No matter how many times I tried, I couldn't stop doing it. It took years, it took decades for me to finally get to a point where I like enough's enough. Enough is enough. It took a long time.
Okay, so recovery is often described as a lifelong journey. What were some of the hardest challenges you faced after getting sober?
I finally decided to get into a 12-step program, into Alcoholics Anonymous, and it was the only thing that helped me. I tried quitting on my own. I tried quitting for my girlfriend. I tried quitting for my mom. But I needed something more than that. I needed to be around other addicts and alcoholics who suffer from the same disease as me, alcoholism, which is a disease that centers in your mind. The disease centers in your brain, and I didn't know that. And I used to compensate and do drugs to make up for not being happy, or not being confident, or losing a relationship or losing a deal. And the only thing that helped me was getting into recovery and finding a God of my understanding and working the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous.
All right, so many people believe addiction is simply a lack of willpower.
It's
Based on
not.
your
It's a
okay,
physiological disease. It centers in your brain. The disease is completely wired in your brain. You can have all the willpower in the world, but once the dopamine kicks in, forget it.
okay. All right, so looking back, do you think addiction was the problem itself, or it was a symptom of something very deeper?
Yeah, I do. I lost my dad when I was 13 and he died. Um, So some people, I like to get high. People do drugs because they like to get high. You could have trauma in your life. You could have I had a good childhood. I came from a good family. Um, I got, I did drugs very honestly because I liked not having to be myself, and I was able to be a different person and not be the true authentic self that I am. It was it was hard. It took a long time for me to really like and love myself, which I do now.
Okay, so for someone listening who feels trapped by addiction or believes recovery is impossible, what would you
If
want
I
them to
can
hear
do it,
today?
anybody can do it. It's
Okay,
possible. You just have to take one day at a time. This disease is one day at a time, Darlington. You can't think about yesterday. The past is the past. You can't think about tomorrow because tomorrow hasn't happened yet. All you can focus on is right now. And there's going to be days where you just feel like giving up, and there are going to be days where you don't want to go on, and you think the only thing that'll make you feel better is another line of coke or another hit of methamphetamine or another pill or another drink, and it doesn't solve your problem. Alcohol and drugs used to be the solution to my problems, and then it became the problem, and that's when things got really bad.
right now, do you think you still have any problem with addiction?
No, I think I've recovered from addiction. I go to meetings 4 times a week. I have a sponsor that takes me through the steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. I practice the principles of the 12 steps every day. I help people. I am of service. I'm a good person. I don't cheat. I don't lie. I don't steal. I don't hurt others. I treat others the way I want to be treated.
Okay, so how long have you been clean now?
I've been clean for 4 years, 5 months, 1 week, and 2 days.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, Nick,
My
wonderful,
sobriety date is February 25th, 2022, and that was the last day I got drunk.
wonderful. And you have kept that streak for without breaking, no relapses along the way.
Every day is a new day, and I don't drink no matter what.
Wow, wow. So, like, are you telling me, Nick, that the first time you tried to be sober, you went straight 3 years? Or
I tried to quit. I tried. My boss threatened to fire me, and that wasn't enough. And my girlfriend said she was going to leave me if I don't stop doing drugs and drinking, and that wasn't enough. And my mom wouldn't give me any money anymore. It didn't matter. I kept doing it. I kept doing it. The addiction was too strong.
because I know how it is to quit. Most times you start, and along the line you have some relapse. So I was asking if you experienced that in
I
this your
used to
journey right
relapse
now.
all the time. Sure, I would get a couple days sober, a week sober, a month sober, and I couldn't stay sober. It's easy to quit. It's really easy to stop, but the key is to stay stopped, and that's the hard part because we want to always resort to our old behavior and the things that we know.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Nick, looking back at your journey, what do you think helped you the most towards your recovery? Was faith part of it? Did you include God? Do you think faith was part of your recovery? Like
It was
asking
it
God for
was
help?
it was just I just hit a certain point in my life, Darlington, where I just enough was enough. I was 55 years old. Um, I was miserable. I had alcohol bottles all over the house. I was throwing up all over the place. Um, I just had enough, and fortunately, I had a um, I just had a breakthrough, and one day I just said, Enough's enough. I'm going to get help," and I went and got help.
Okay, thank you so much, Nick. So you have built your life and now openly share your story through podcasting. What gives your life purpose today, and what does sobriety mean to you now?
Sobriety means everything. I wake up very early, like I did today. I have a very simple life. I go to a couple, 4 AA meetings a week. I meet with my sponsor once a week. When I do something wrong or upset someone, I apologize immediately. I don't offend people. I live a very, very peaceful life. I pray, I meditate, And most importantly, I help other alcoholics and addicts stay sober. And that's my purpose in life, to help other people. That's why I've got the Mechanic podcast, which your listeners will hopefully tune in and listen to, so people can learn about my journey and listen to other addicts and alcoholics who've gone through what I've gone through, Darlington.
Okay, that's perfect, Nick, because people try to learn from other people's story. They try to get inspiration to quit by listening to other people's stories. So what you are doing with your own podcast, that's very, very, very important.
It's great.
So,
Thank you.
okay, so is there something you would like to share with my audience that I have not asked you yet?
No, just say, life gets better no matter how bad things get. Life can always get better. You can always recover no matter what, if you're homeless like I was, living in your car like I was, you can always reinvent yourself and come back and build a new life and be a good person and have a relationship with a God of your understanding if that's what you want. And that was the most important thing for me. God is everything to me. My God is so important to me.
All right, Nick, if you could leave my listeners with one message, what would you want that to be?
Just keep your head up. Don't get high. Don't drink. Whatever you do, no matter how bad it gets, you don't need to do it. You can do what I did, and you can get the help. There are millions of people out there who want to help others, and if I can do it, anybody can do it.
All right, thank you so, so much, Nick. This has been a very, very exciting episode.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much for
sharing.
having me.
Thank you for sharing with us your story. I hope my listeners who are struggling with addiction. And let me just give you a story, Nick. I myself, I have addictions I'm struggling with, and
Right.
not necessarily drug addiction, but I have things I have decided to stop. I have not been able to stop them. I can go 6 months and I relapse. And when I relapse, Nick, I feel like shit.
That's right.
I, yeah, I feel
Look,
like shit.
it doesn't have to be drugs and alcohol. It could be gambling. It could be food. It could be sex.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
So I don't know. Those times you were relapsing, how did you feel? How did you feel when you relapsed in those times that you started trying to be sober?
Horrible. I felt horrible. I sat by myself, alone, naked, beat up, sweating. Just I felt like shit. And now I feel great. I wake up. I'm healthy. I go for walks. I exercise. It's a whole different world. And people look at me and they go, "You've changed."
Honestly. So when I always feel like shit when I relapse. But I hope I can begin to
You can do it. You can do it, my man.
thank you so much. Thank you, Nick. So for those who want to connect with you, who want to learn more about your story and your
Go
podcast,
tune into the
how can
Mechanic
they do that?
podcast. You can find it on Apple or Amazon or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And you can leave a comment there, and I read all the comments and I'll respond.
All right. Thank you so so much, Nick. I really hope my audience can also pick one or two things from here and run with it. Thank you so much. And to my
Thanks for
audience out
having me,
there, be
brother. I
sure to check
appreciate
out
it. Have a
Nick's
great
work.
day.
Okay. And if this episode is speaking to you, do well to share it with someone out there who might need to hear this. Thank you all so much and have a wonderful day ahead.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
guys. Thank you, Nick.